guys, how you doing? I am here with another episode in my generic Skyrim mod series. We've got a lot to get through this episode, as most of the mods are recommended by my subscribers. If you want to recommend a mod for the next episode, then please leave a comment down below, or you can private message me or find me on Twitter or Facebook. So without further ado, let's jump straight on to our first mod. First up, we have Nosdormu, recommended by People1013, made by Comp F Steak. This mod is a follower mod that adds a brand new character to the game that is heavily based off some World of Warcraft lore. Now, I'm not that high up on World of Warcraft, but from doing some research, I know that he is a half man, half dragon that was cast into a vortex during some sort of war between gods and dragons. He can be obtained after you read the Elder Scrolls in the main storyline of the campaign, although I haven't got that far through the campaign, so I just used console commands and got him in. First thing you'll notice about this character is his face. It's half dragon and half man. It's got really high detail. Even like the eyes are different, and as you can see in this close-up shot, he's quite scary actually. It's quite surreal how realistic it looks. He's also pretty tall, as you can probably see, compared to my meteoric Nordster character here. When in combat, he uses his Daedric sword, and he's pretty awesome with one-handed, and when he's not using his one-handed, he uses his destruction spells, and he's also pretty badass with them too. Overall, I think this mod is fantastic for anybody who is just starting out in Skyrim and aren't quite good at the combat side of things. So if you need a hand with the combat and want an amazing follower who looks amazing and is pretty skilled with a sword, this mod is definitely for you. Next up, we have Hobbit Hole by Jamie Barnes, recommended by Joe Proctor. Now, as you can tell from the title, this adds a Hobbit hole to Skyrim. It is pretty awesome, to say the least. It's pretty convincing that this is a hobbit hole, to be honest. This is a pretty realistic hobbit hole. From the outside, it looks just like a generic hobbit hole with a round door, and as you walk up to it, you'll see a note from the mod author that has a list of all the things and a link to his mod page, and it also says PS, there is a key to the basement in the bedside safe. As you walk in, it feels very cozy, if a little bit dark. It might be a little bit dark, but that's probably just my EMB. Got a little kitchen, a lovely sort of living room area with some nice chairs to sit around the fire in them cold nights, and then you've got a very nice bedroom where you can find another one of these notes that has the link to the mod page and the PS saying that the key is in the safe. So if we look inside the safe and we find the key, and then we find the basement trapdoor in the living room in the corner, we go down into a secret under basement where there is a table with sort of like a keg of whatever in, probably mead. We have different corners with some storage space, some empty chests. There's quite a lot of empty chests in this space. And then if we look in one of the corners, we find a locked door that requires a key to open. Now, I couldn't find the key anywhere, and that's because I think I realised that there isn't a key. So if I unlock it with console commands and we open the door, we can see that there's just a brick wall. Now this implies that the mod author has something planned to improve this mod, maybe a quest or just expanding the hole, which is quite exciting to see what this hobbit hole can become in the future. Overall, this mod is pretty lore friendly. If you enjoy Lord of the Rings, you should definitely download this mod. Next on the list, we have Telvanni Hall, a Dunmer Tale by Giscard, recommended by People1013 again. Unfortunately, I'm not going to feature this mod fully this episode because I couldn't get it to work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing anything wrong, if it's not installed properly, but if anybody knows about this mod, please could you tell me if I'm doing anything wrong. What I did was I went straight to the Telvanni Hall and spoke to the 3 people that are in there. 2 of them don't come up with any dialogue trees, but one of them does, and from videos that I've seen, it's supposed to come up with 2 dialogues, but for me it only comes up with 1. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if I've just not installed it correctly, so I'm not going to feature it fully now. I got impatient with the mod and console commanded my way into the actual depth of the Telvanni Hall, which then ended up getting the 2 brothers that are in there to attack me, which didn't end well. So if you know what I'm doing wrong, please leave a comment on this video or private message me somewhere and let me know what I'm doing wrong, because I would really love to feature this mod in a future episode. Here we have Bosmeric Drunken Huntsman by Wilhelm Blecher, which is an overhaul of the Drunken Huntsman inn or a shop, I'm not quite sure what it is, that makes it look more Bosmeric. The idea behind this mod is that the Drunken Huntsman is owned by a Bosmer, So it overhauled the whole shop to make it look more Bosmerish. As you can see from the exterior, it adds a lot more trees, which makes it look pretty nice when you walk straight into Whiterun. As you walk inside, you can see it's pretty cozy, pretty atmospheric, with a massive Spriggan statue on the right, and there's vines and ivy all up the walls, and it looks a lot better than what the original Drunken Huntsman did. The only sort of light source really is the big campfire in the middle of the building, which really emphasises on the shadows around the room and makes it feel really dark and cozy. The shopkeepers are really friendly inside the Drunken Huntsman. I think they're new. I never actually went in the Drunken Huntsman that much when I originally played through Skyrim on the Xbox 360, but I can remember that it looked a lot different. That's pretty much all I can remember. But now I've installed this mod, I can definitely see myself coming into the Drunken Huntsman a lot more, as it looks a lot more appealing than what the original one did. Finally, to top off this episode, we have Uncle Sheogorath's really helpful hints and tips by Tumblr World. What this mod does is it changes the little messages or tips that come up in the bottom right of your screen, in the loading screen, and changes it to little notes from Sheogorath. Now, if you don't know who Sheogorath is, he is a god who is pretty insane. There's a quest in Solitude that sends you to this magical land, which I think is his mind, which is pretty weird in itself, but he's pretty insane, and he comes out with all of these mad different comments. Now, as you know, Skyrim has pretty long loading screens unless you've installed the game on an SSD, but even then they're pretty extensive. So to keep you entertained in the loading screens, these little messages come out with some really funny stuff that range from some things that sound quite rational but are still quite silly, to things that are just completely stupid and like you don't even know what they are. They're pretty hilarious, so if you just want a little cheer up when you're in the loading screens, then definitely download this mod, it's pretty hilarious. Well, that's all the mods I have for you this week. Remember, you can suggest mods in the comments or private message me on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, if you know how to do that. I don't really know how to do that. I've worked it out about a week ago and then completely forgot. So probably the best way to get hold of me is on Twitter, because I'm always on Twitter. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everybody who submitted mods for me to review. If you missed the last episode that I did, make sure to click on my channel and to go and check that out. Whilst you're there, I urge you to check out some of my other videos that I do about Battlefield, a couple of Call of Duty and some Titanfall, and in the future we're going to be doing some Minecraft, so check them out whilst you're there. And again, thank you for watching, but I've been Saucy Meteor, and I'll see you in the next video.